Growing up, I was in a variety of sports. I played almost everything, and it was always a dream of mine to be able to be an adult and still teach kids sports. After graduating college, I went looking for a PE job with a degree in kinesiology. I was looking to work with kids. And after working in the classroom for several years, I decided it was time to create something. I started off getting a $350 van from my previous work, and I took some money out of a 401k, bought as much sports equipment as I could, developed some objectives, and knocked on a couple preschool doors and said, I have a concept. We offered a 30-minute fitness class that provided obstacle courses, fitness, music, and a bunch of different sports. The overwhelming response was that it was something very unique, something very cool that they hadn't seen before. And we started off with one school, and it kind of went to 8 schools, and now we're currently at 58 schools. Going from a steady job that had a solid income to taking the leap of faith to say, okay, I'm gonna try and pay the bills and afford to feed my family and do everything on a concept that I've created was very nerve-wracking. There was a point where every school was saying yes. People are literally calling me and emailing me for free demonstrations. And so all of a sudden, I was kind of overwhelmed with more work than I had anticipated. And I don't have any business background. What am I gonna do? And it's at that point that I Googled. I got online and I said, I need small business help in Jacksonville. And up came SCORE. And it was at that point that I sent them an email and they set up an appointment for me to come in and sit down and kind of discuss what was going on. When I first went into SCORE, I was greeted by 2 gentlemen who sat down and kind of asked me the overview of the company. And they said to me, okay, so what is it you're looking for? And I said, well, I need help with my books. And so they said, okay, you need some, background in finance, someone who's got some finance background, someone who knows how to do the books for a company. I said, some marketing, maybe. I said, we're growing very quickly, but at the same time, I'd like it to continue this way. And they said, okay. So they kind of geared me to some people at SCORE that had those expertise. And they said, we'd like you to meet, these gentlemen. I think these people can assist you. Bill Prey was one of the first gentlemen that they introduced me to over at SCORE. And he gave me his phone number and said, if you need anything, call me. And so I would begin to start doing exactly what they were saying as far as guidance went, proper steps. And I would do them. And everything was kind of working out. I was building a company. The schedule was going into place. I was learning how to do my books. And every time I needed some sort of guidance, I would call Bill and we would meet. And he would say, okay, this is good. This is good. Let's do something. Maybe let's try this maybe. And so we just continued to go at it. And he said, look, you got to crawl before you can walk and you got to walk before you can run. So let's just continue to do things steadily because I think you have something here. And so it just continued to grow, and it went from just working at preschools to the county contacting us and saying, let's work with, our elementary school population. So then it went from preschool to elementary schools. Then we added in birthday parties on the weekend. And it kind of allowed us to generate multiple revenues. I guess it really wasn't until I hit elementary schools and our numbers really grew that I thought, wow, I'm a real business owner. It was awesome because it was what I wanted to do. All I ever wanted to do was teach sports. I never would have thought that this concept would be able to grow into something that could potentially franchise itself if it hadn't been for SCORE. It's them that kind of sat me down and said, look at the potential. And they were kind of the guidance that helped me open my eyes and think of a bigger picture. It was, SCORE and Dave and Bill that said, no, this is something that I'm sure a lot of adults would love to have as their jobs. And so there's no reason why it can't be in New York, in New Jersey, in Tennessee, in California, in Texas. And it was literally a 10-minute time frame from me going, let me Google something, to setting up an appointment, to a whole new perspective on what I was doing. But they're always there. And without them, I wouldn't probably be able to make some of the decisions we've made.